What roles did different viceroys perform in India? 14. ANS. The Viceroy of India, a position created after the Indian Mutiny of 1857 when the British Crown took direct control from the East India Company, was the supreme representative of British authority in India. For nearly 90 years, a succession of viceroys performed a multitude of roles, their tenures often reflecting both the evolving nature of British imperialism and the growing tide of Indian nationalism. Their roles were complex, encompassing administration, diplomacy, legislation, and symbolic representation, with individual viceroys leaving distinct imprints. 1. Chief Administrator and Executive Head. The Viceroy was the ultimate head of the Indian administration, responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting revenue, and overseeing public works, infrastructure development, railways, telegraphs, canals, education, and health. They presided over the Executive Council, which functioned like a cabinet. Lord Canning, 1858–1862, the first Viceroy, focused on post-mutiny reconstruction, reorganizing the army, and establishing a new administrative framework. He introduced the Indian Councils Act of 1861, which marked a modest beginning for Indian participation in legislative affairs. Lord Mayo, 1869–1872, initiated financial decentralization, empowering provincial governments, and established the Statistical Survey of India. Lord Curzon, 1899–1905, was a quintessential imperial administrator, known for his efficiency and drive. He undertook extensive reforms in land revenue, agriculture, education, Indian Universities Act 1904, and Archaeology, Ancient Monuments Preservation Act 1904. However, his administrative zeal also led to the controversial Partition of Bengal, 1905, which fueled nationalist sentiment. 2. Representative of the Crown and symbol of British power. The Viceroy was the personal representative of the British monarch, embodying the pomp and majesty of the empire. They hosted grand durbars, state visits, and maintained a lavish lifestyle designed to awe and impress both Indian subjects and princely rulers. Lord Lytton, 1876–1880, famously organized the Delhi Durbar of 1877, proclaiming Queen Victoria as Empress of India, a symbolic assertion of British paramountcy. His tenure, however, was also marked by a devastating famine and the repressive Vernacular Press Act. 3. Legislator and policy maker. While major policies were dictated from London, viceroys had considerable influence in shaping and implementing legislation. They presided over the Imperial Legislative Council and could issue ordinances. Lord Ripon, 1880–1884, known as Ripon the Good, promoted local self-government through resolutions in 1882 and attempted to remove judicial discrimination with the Ilbert Bill, though it faced stiff opposition from Europeans. The More Minto Reforms, 1909, under Lord Minto II, and Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms, 1919, under Lord Chelmsford, expanded Indian participation in legislative councils, introducing elements of responsible government, albeit limited and often with divisive mechanisms like separate electorates. For diplomat and manager of princely states. The Viceroy managed relations with the numerous semi-autonomous princely states, ensuring their loyalty. Many viceroys, like Lord Dufferin, 1884–1880, the Viceroy managed relations with the numerous semi-autonomous princely states, ensuring their loyalty and adherence to British paramountcy. They also handled foreign policy concerning neighboring territories like Afghanistan, Persia, and Tibet. Many viceroys, like Lord Dufferin, 1884–1888, who oversaw the annexation of Upper Burma, were involved in expanding or consolidating British influence on India's frontiers. 5. Crisis manager and mediator. Viceroys often had to navigate severe crises, including famines, plagues, internal unrest, and the impact of world wars. As Indian nationalism grew, they increasingly found themselves mediating between imperial interests and Indian demands. Lord Irwin, 1826–1931, engaged with Mahatma Gandhi, leading to the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, 1931, a temporary truce that acknowledged the Congress as a significant political force. Lord Linlithgow, 1936–1943, declared India at war in 1939 without consulting Indian leaders, leading to widespread protests and the Quit India movement. Lord Wavell, 1943–1947, grappled with the Bengal famine. Lord Wavell, 1943–1947, grappled with the Bengal famine and made concerted, though ultimately unsuccessful, efforts like the Simla Conference to find a political settlement. 6. Overseer of transition. The final viceroys played the crucial role of managing the transfer of power. Lord Mountbatten, 1947, was tasked with the complex and tragic process of partitioning India and granting independence, bringing the viceregal era to a close. In conclusion, the Viceroys of India were powerful figures who wielded immense authority. Their roles were multifaceted, ranging from day-to-day administration and grand symbolic displays to shaping policy and managing crises. While instruments of imperial rule, their individual actions and the policies they implemented profoundly impacted India's socio-political landscape, often inadvertently paving the way for the very independence movement that would end their rule.